Hi, I'm Dr. Brent Daigle with the Tisch College of Education at Mercer University and a graduate of LSU. Today we're going to be talking about direct instruction. We're going to define what it is, talk about when's the best place and the best times to use direct instruction, and then finally we'll discuss the steps that are associated with this strategy. So what is direct instruction? Well, direct instruction is a teacher-directed, very explicit way of teaching a particular skill. It's most useful whenever the skill that you're teaching is structured and sequential. So in areas like math, so like multiplication, like if you're doing 2-digit by 1-digit or however, maybe 2-digit by 2-digit or 3-digit by 2-digit or 3-digit by 3-digit. Any kind of math is good with math. It's also good with reading. So if you're teaching phonics, like the B sound or the Ch sound, well, you understand what phonics. You know what phonics. You understand that. So whenever the skill is specific, that's when direct instruction is best. Whenever it's less specific, like if you're discussing a social issue that has controversy in civics, for example, direct instruction wouldn't really be the best choice for instruction in that kind of scenario. Or if you're doing expository writing in your ELA class, and you're having students do peer tutoring and working with each other, trying to improve their writing, well, that doesn't really lend itself either to direct instruction, because direct instruction is explicit teacher-directed or teacher-driven instruction. It is not exploratory or inquiry-based. There's a time for direct instruction, just like there's a time for inquiry and exploratory-based learning. So, what are the steps of direct instruction? Well, the first step is that the teacher very explicitly teaches the skill. They explain what the steps of multiplication are when you're doing 2-digit by 1-digit multiplication, or they explain the sounds associated with a particular phonics sound. So the first step is the teacher teaches the skill. The second step, the teacher models the skill. The teacher walks through, maybe does think aloud, a think aloud strategy where they specifically state every aspect of the steps that are associated with that concept. So the first step, they teach it. The second step, they model it. The third step, that's what we call guided practice. This is whenever the teacher allows the students to practice the skill, but with a heavy guidance from the teacher. We don't want students to make a mistake under direct instruction. As I said earlier, this is not inquiry-based, this is not exploratory-based learning. So if you see a student, for example, if you're doing basic addition with the primary ages, and you're teaching them, you say 3 plus 1, and you see them write 2. And then you notice they say 3 plus 3 plus 3, and they put 0. You know that they're subtracting, they're inverting their signs. Well, under direct instruction, we don't allow them to keep making this mistake over and over and over until they discover that it doesn't fit. Under direct instruction, we have what we call errorless correction. We remind them of the skill, we go back to the problem, and it may even show the answer. So the first step, the teacher teaches it. The second step, the teacher models it. The third step, the teacher allows for guided practice with the emphasis on the guided. The next step is independent practice. This is the point where the teacher feels confident. They've done the formative assessment throughout the class for this skill, and they feel like now is a good time for the students to practice or learn it on their own. So under this stage is when the students have a chance to practice the skill on their own. So the first step, they teach it. The second step, they model it. The third step, they have guided practice, and then they have independent practice. The final step of direct instruction is assessment. This is when the teacher gives some sort of a test or assessment to determine that the students have learned this skill, they've acquired the steps, they know how the process associated with the concept they're trying to teach, and then they can possibly even generalize it to other areas of math or reading or whatever the concept that you're trying to teach. Direct instruction is an effective way of teaching. It is not the only way. And direct instruction, one more thing before, don't click out of the video yet. Direct instruction is not synonymous with good teaching. It is a good strategy and it is good teaching, but some teachers go around and say, oh yeah, I'm a good teacher because I'm direct instruction. Well, good. I hope only if it's appropriate. That it is one strategy among many, and depending on the rationale of your lesson, the objectives of your lesson, the goals of what you're trying to accomplish, that's when you decide if direct instruction is appropriate or maybe something, a different approach is needed. Thank you for taking the time to listen today, to watch today. I'm Dr. Brent Daigle with the Tift College of Education at Mercer University. Until next time, America.